Picture yourself in the heart of the Arctic, where the air bites at 40 degrees Celsius, a cold so relentless it could turn your breath to ice before it leaves your lips. The wind howls like a chorus of ancient spirits, snow swirls in blinding curtains, and the horizon is a blur of white under a sky faintly pulsing with auroras. Your fingers should be numb, your toes frozen, your body trembling on the edge of surrender. Yet, if you're Inuit, you stand unshaken, your warmth a quiet defiance of Frostbite's cruel threat. How is this possible? The Inuit don't wage war against the cold. They dance with it, their every step a testament to millennia of wisdom. Like that friend who wears shorts in a January blizzard, they embrace winter, but with a mastery that transforms the Arctic's fury into a partner, not a foe. Their survival weaves together ingeniously crafted shelters, clothing that defies the wind, a diet that burns like a furnace, movements that keep blood alive, and lessons whispered by the tundra's creatures. Over the next 4 hours, we'll immerse ourselves in their world, from igloos glowing with lamplight to parkas sewn with ancestral care, from feasts of blubber to subtle steps that outwit the freeze, and wisdom drawn from foxes, seals, and bears. This is the epic of the Inuit who craft warmth from frost, proving that even in Earth's coldest corners life can flourish. Step into their story, where the Arctic's chill becomes a canvas for human brilliance. Our saga begins with the igloo, a structure so iconic it's etched in our imaginations as a playful snow fort. But to the Inuit, it's a masterpiece of survival engineering. Imagine a lone builder, silhouetted against a twilight sky, their parka dusted with frost, carving blocks from the tundra's crust with a bone-handled knife. The right snow, dense, sticky, not the powdery fluff of a ski slope, makes all the difference. With it, an igloo rises in 1 to 2 hours, a dome born from the land itself. The blocks, cut in a spiral pattern, lean inward, each piece a puzzle. Piece in a self-supporting arch, strongest at the peak where pressure is fiercest. It's nature's answer to a pop-up tent. But unlike our flimsy camping gear that collapses under a gust or an uncle's sneeze, an igloo stands resolute against Arctic gales that could topple modern cabins. Snow, though it chills the hand, is a paradox of warmth when packed. Its countless air pockets, like tiny frozen bubbles, trap heat, mimicking the fiberglass stuffed into modern walls. With an R value of 1 to 2 per inch, it rivals foam insulation's R 3.5, turning a snow dome into a thermal fortress. At 30 degrees outside, the interior can climb to 20 degrees. Cold by our thermostat-loving standards, but a sanctuary against frostbite's creeping threat. Wi-Fi, hot showers, or a coffee maker. Absent. But survival doesn't crave such luxuries, only ingenuity. The igloo's design is a study in elegant simplicity, every curve purposeful. Its entrance, dug below floor level, forms a cold trap, harnessing the fact that frigid air sinks, barring it from the living space. A small vent at the dome's apex, no wider than a clenched fist, releases moisture, preventing the Arctic's version of morning dew from dripping onto sleeping faces, a rude awakening no one needs at 40-degree Celsius. The walls, warmed by human breath and body heat, melt ever so slightly, then refreeze into a thin ice glaze, strengthening the structure and boosting insulation, like armor forged by the cold itself. Inside, the quillic, a soapstone lamp, is the igloo's beating heart. Fueled by seal or whale blubber, its flame dances, under careful tending, raising the temperature by 10 to 15 degrees, its orange glow casting shadows that weave stories on the walls. The quillic is a multitasker, providing light to mend a harpoon, heat to warm hands, and a cooking surface for simmering seal stew or melting snow for tea. Picture an elder, fur-lined hood framing their face, adjusting the moss wick with a bone. Tool, the lamps crackle a rhythm as familiar as a heartbeat, a pot of caribou broth bubbling above. This efficiency humbles modern designs. Tiny house enthusiasts could pen sonnets to the quillic, though its blubber-fueled scent, earthy and pungent, might not grace a candle shop's shelves. Igloos are but one chapter in the Inuit's shelter story. When spring softens the snow to slush, two-pick tents rise, crafted from caribou or seal skins stretched over frames of driftwood or whale bones, scavenged from the tundra's sparse offerings. These tents are marvels of mobility, light enough for nomads to carry across miles of frost, yet sturdy against summer's winds and rains. The skins, naturally oiled, repel water like a duck's feathers, their tight fibers blocking gusts that would pierce our nylon tents. A tupik is the original glamping, not with fairy lights or plush pillows, but with raw functionality that keeps frostbite at bay when winter lingers. Inside, furs line the floor, a soft contrast to the tundra's bite, the air warmed by bodies, and a small quillik, a temporary home that feels eternal in its purpose. Inuit shelter building is a tapestry of local knowledge, woven from centuries of trial and error. They know which snow, crisp not crumbly, makes the strongest blocks, how to angle entrances to dodge prevailing winds, and how to size a shelter for a family of 4 or a lone hunter. It's as if they've been perfecting this craft for millennia, while we fumble with IKEA manuals or curse a misaligned shelf. The land itself is their ally. They build in the lee of hills or rock outcrops, natural windbreaks that shield against gales that could strip warmth in seconds. In emergencies, when blizzards trap hunters far from camp, they carve snow caves into drifts, hollowing out chambers that insulate nearly as well as igloos, a testament to architecture born from necessity, not blueprints. Inside any shelter, sleeping platforms rise above the floor, where cold air pools like an invisible lake. Crafted from packed snow or earth, these platforms are layered with caribou furs, their hollow hairs trapping heat with an R30 value, outshining many modern mattresses. A family of 4, huddled beneath furs, generates enough body heat to keep an igloo toasty through the long Arctic night, a renewable energy source powered by the same folks who'd shiver in a drafty office elsewhere. As Ancient Origins observes, these shelters let Inuit thrive where others would falter, their homes a warm embrace during rest, a bulwark against frostbite's creeping chill. Yet rest is only half the battle. Daytime survival demands clothing that doesn't merely cover, but conquers the cold. We pile on layers until we waddle like overstuffed snowmen, arms stiff, movement a chore. The Inuit choose quality over quantity, their garments a symphony of form and function. Caribou fur is their cornerstone, its hollow hairs creating air pockets that trap body heat, insulating 10 times better than wool, per CPR first aid. A 2-layer parka system is a stroke of genius. 1 layer, fur inward, hugs, the skin locking in warmth like a lover's embrace. The other, fur outward, breaks the wind, forming a microclimate that scoffs at 40-degree sun. Unlike our plastic-based jackets that trap sweat, these furs breathe, letting moisture escape to prevent the deadly freeze that follows perspiration. Sweat. In the Arctic is frostbite's silent partner. When you stop moving, wet clothes steal heat, but Inuit garments born from animals they hunted solved this centuries before our high-tech gym wear boasted moisture-wicking labels. Their chemic boots, crafted from seal skin, are naturally waterproof, their thick hide soles enduring the tundra's jagged ice. Inside, dried moss or grass insulates, drawing moisture from feet. Removable to dry by the quillik overnight and swapped fresh each morning, a natural insole that cushions and molds to the wearer. No tight elastic bands here. Modern winter clothes often choke wrists and ankles, cutting blood flow, inviting frostbite with every constriction. Inuit designs are loose, creating extra air pockets for insulation, with mittens favored over gloves, keeping fingers huddled for warmth, like a family reunion where everyone shares the heat. The amauti, a parka hood, is a marvel, lined with wolverine or wolf fur that resists frost from breath, ensuring clear vision and a warm face. No frozen beards after a trek to check traps. Some amauti include baby carriers, cradling infants against a mother's back, a built-in system keeping generations toasty through storms. Children's clothes, sewn from soft August fawn skins, are lightweight, allowing cartwheels on the tundra, with extra material to expand as they grow. Unlike our bulky snowsuits that turn kids into waddling astronauts, arms stuck at odd angles. Perhaps most counterintuitive, Inuit hunters sometimes leave hands or faces partially exposed during intense tasks, not out of recklessness, but strategy. Overheating leads to sweat, which freezes when activity pauses, so controlled exposure manages body temperature, a choice rooted in survival, not a gym-goer's bravado. This clothing, per National Geographic, works with the body, not against it, keeping extremities frostbite-free through breathability and design. Picture a seamstress, needle flashing in the Qualix glow, stitching a parka with sinew thread. Each seam a prayer for warmth, a craft passed from grandmother to granddaughter, ensuring no cold seeps through. Fueling this warmth is a diet that transforms bodies into living hearths. While we're urged to shun fat, Inuit embrace it, drawing over 50% of their calories from it, a figure that would make dietitians clutch their quinoa bowls in horror. Seal, whale, and fish dominate their plates, with muktuk, whale skin, and blubber, packing 70 grams of fat per serving, equivalent to 5 bacon cheeseburgers but delivering survival, not shame. This fat, rich in omega-3s, triggers metabolic pathways that generate heat, a slow, steady burn unlike sugar's fleeting spark, per Medicover genetics. Studies show high-fat diets boost resting metabolic rates by 20%, like an internal heater, humming day and night. Omega-3s also flex blood vessels, improving circulation to fingers, toes, and ears, the frostbite-prone zones, outdoing our chemical hand warmers with nature's elegance. Genetic adaptations honed over countless generations enhance fat processing, extracting maximum heat, a premium upgrade to their metabolic engine, while we limp along with factory settings. Remarkably, Inuit generate heat without shivering, through non-shivering thermogenesis. Shivering burns energy fast, risking exhaustion, but their brown fat tissue burns calories directly for heat, conserving stamina for the hunt or the trek home. Meals, timed with precision, are fat-heavy in the morning, releasing heat throughout the day. A breakfast of champions needing no cereal jingle. With less than 15% carbohydrates, their energy avoids sugar crashes, maintaining steady heat, a low-carb life with survival stakes, not Instagram aesthetics. Raw or frozen foods like fish or caribou preserve enzymes that fuel this metabolism, and warming them internally burns extra calories, adding heat like an internal bellows. Teas brewed from Labrador leaves, crowberries, or Arctic herbs boost circulation. Unlike caffeine's fleeting spike, a natural tonic steeped from the tundra's sparse bounty. Picture a family, gathered around the kulik, sharing muktuk as the lamp's glow dances, each bite a spark in their internal fire, their laughter mingling with the wind's distant wail. Movement is their silent superpower, a dance that keeps frostbite at bay. Sitting still at 40 degrees Celsius is a death knell, but Inuit never freeze in place. Even waiting at a seal's breathing hole, eyes fixed on the ice, they shift weight from foot to foot, curl toes inside kamik, flex fingers in mittens, subtle motions, boosting blood flow by 30%, per studies of cold-adapted populations. Their walk, flat-footed with short, deliberate steps, prevents slips on treacherous ice and keeps muscles warm. No runway grace but Arctic grit that ensures every limb stays alive. Squatting, not sitting on snow, engages large muscles, preserving core heat, reducing the body's exposure to the cold ground. Frequent short breaks, 2 to 3 minutes, catch breath without cooling, unlike long rests that drop body temperature after 5 minutes, research confirms. Active resting, rubbing hands, swinging arms, stamping feet, looks like an impromptu jig but is a millennia-old heat system, each motion a note in a survival symphony. Their pace is a study in endurance. On long treks, they avoid sprint resties, cycles, which burn calories fast, instead maintaining a steady gait that conserves energy for warmth. Studies show this burns fewer total calories, leaving more fuel for heat production. Breathing, too, is strategic. Slow, deep inhales through apo roughs warm air by 40 degrees before it reaches lungs, guarding core heat against the cold's internal theft. They move before feeling cold, a proactive strike that keeps blood vessels open, circulation strong. Elders teach youth to read frostbite's earliest whispers. Tingling fingers or toes spark immediate action, like flexing or rubbing, stopping danger before it takes root. Picture a hunter, silhouetted against a crimson dawn, his breath steaming through a wolverine ruff, his steps a quiet rhythm, each motion a defiance of the cold that would claim lesser souls. Nature is their greatest mentor. The tundra, a classroom where animals teach survival. Arctic foxes, curling bushy tails over paws and muzzles, inspire techniques to shield hands and faces, their seasonal fur changes guiding clothing cycles. Seals, with blubber so thick their skin stays warm in icy seas, inspire oil coatings on exposed skin, a natural barrier against frost. Caribou, with hollow hairs, shape parka designs, their fur a blueprint for warmth. Lemmings, tunneling beneath snow, reveal its insulating power, a lesson etched in igloo walls. Polar bears, massive yet graceful, teach careful ice walking to save energy, their paws a model for traction. Wolves with thick fur ringing their paws influence comic souls, while ptarmigan's feathered feet spark footwear innovations. Arctic hares huddling in groups show the power of shared warmth, a tactic Inuit mirror in crowded igloos. Migratory birds, timing their flights, guide seasonal camp shifts, per National Geographic. Each creature, from scurrying lemming to soaring. Goose offers a lesson, woven into a frostbite-proof system that harmonizes with the land. This survival is more than mechanics, it's a culture, a way of being. Storytelling, under the Kulik's flicker, passes down survival's secrets. An elder's tale of a hunter outsmarting a blizzard embeds movement tricks, like squatting to save heat or breathing through fur. These stories, rich with inuktitut, cadence, aren't just lore. They're manuals ensuring each generation knows the cold's rules. Communal living with families sharing igloos or toothpick, mirrors hares huddling, body heat pooling like a shared fire. Tool making, from bone needles to ivory harpoons, is a sacred craft. Each stitch in a parka or block in an igloo a bulwark against frostbite. Women, sewing in lamplight, weave sinew through hides, their hands steady as they recount ancestors who sewed through storms. Men carve harpoon tips, their breath visible, knowing a flawed tool could mean hunger, or worse. Spirituality binds them to the land, animals revered as teachers, not just prey. A seal's sacrifice fuels the Kulik, its spirit honored in songs, ensuring sustainable hunts that keep diets rich. Myths like Sedna, the sea goddess, tie their survival to respect for nature, her moods dictating hunt success. These beliefs aren't superstition but a framework for balance, ensuring the tundra's gifts are never squandered. Social bonds forged in feasts or hunts are survival's glue, sharing meat, stories, or warmth knits communities, lowering winter's psychological toll, a fact modern studies echo in Arctic mental health research. Modern Inuit adapt blending. Snowmobiles, rifles, or synthetic jackets with tradition, but the core endures. Climate change thins ice, shifts hunts, yet igloos still rise. Furs still warm, muktuk still fuels, movements still flow, and animals still teach. Elders, in community centers or tundra camps, pass wisdom to youth, who Snapchat hunts but honor. Sedna's name. This resilience per ancient origins is humanity's triumph, a culture that thrives where others would perish. Economically, their methods are lessons in sustainability. Igloos cost nothing but skill, unlike our heated homes with soaring bills. Furs, hunted sustainably, outlast fast fashion parkas, their repair a craft, not a landfill contribution. Diets, from local seals, bypass global supply chains, a model for food security as Arctic resources dwindle. Socially, their communal ethos, sharing meat, tools, stories, builds networks stronger than any app, a blueprint for resilience in our fractured world. Individual stories bring this to life. Take Anika, a grandmother in Nunavut, teaching her grandson to carve igloo blocks, her laughter echoing as he fumbles, her stories of her own grandmother's Kulik tending weaving past into present. Or Chimere, a hunter, squatting by a seal hole, his kamik crunching snow, his breath slow through a wolf fur ruff, his fingers flexing to songs his father sang. These lives, small against the tundra's vastness, are the pulse of Inuit survival, each choice a thread in a tapestry of warmth. This isn't just survival, it's artistry, a 4-hour epic of human spirit. Igloos stand as sanctuaries, furs as armor, diets as hearths, movements as dances, animals as sages, culture as strength. At 40 degrees Uv, where we'd falter, Inuit soar, their lives a testament to harmonizing with the cold, a dance with frost that leaves us awestruck, warmed by their brilliance in the Arctic's endless white.